With a unique blend of historic buildings and contemporary landmarks, Alcorn State University has been shaping the academic landscape. ASU has been well received in many disciplines, from technology to nursing, from agriculture to athletics. ASU has excited friends, fans, and alums not only nationwide, but worldwide. Alcorn State University, a place of scholars and champions, especially in football. From the 60s to the 90s, numerous championships have come Alcorn's way. And for those that made it happen, they will be entrenched in ASU history forever. But if there's one man that provided the excitement, the flair, and the swagger that ASU represents, it's Steve McNair. From 1991 to 1994, Steve Air McNair was something special. 2 SWAC titles, 2 NCAA playoff appearances. He broke numerous 1AA passing marks, and it all culminated with the Heisman Trophy nomination and a top 5 NFL draft pick. So as you might expect, when asked about the past and the present, Steve McNair is oozing with enthusiasm, happy but humble, as he relives those 4 great years that changed his life forever. We're here with former Alcorn quarterback Steve McNair, here for his camp in the second year. Steve, we appreciate your time, and I know you're on a busy schedule. Talk a little bit about your camp. This is your second year, the Alcorn camp. Talk a little bit about that and coming back to your alma mater.
Well, it's always good to come back to alma mater, especially in the place that put you into the NFL. And I think it's good to, everybody talk about giving back. And this is the way I give back, to give myself, the kids, notoriety, and give them to visit the Alcorn campus and see how, family atmosphere that this place is. And it's great, especially, the kids enjoy it. It's a free camp for the kids. We go out there. We have some of the best coaches locally here and surrounding state of Mississippi. So I think, it's a plus for them to come out here and form a communication with a lot of different coaches and to get those guys ready for the next level. You have some guys that's, older, and some guys are younger and set dreams and have goals for themselves. And we're just giving them a fair opportunity to enhance their skills, not only on the football field, but off the football field as well.
We talk about giving back, and in society today, there's so much pressure on athletes, period, especially star athletes, and, taking the money and not really giving back. But what you see is now you're seeing more and more athletes doing that, and that's a sign as we move into the next generation.
I think that is because you got more people in my generation backwards that didn't have the opportunity to go to camps, didn't have the opportunity to have somebody that tried to improve themselves, and have a stable life. For as not only football but just life in general. And I think myself didn't have the luxury to go to different camps, and I feel like on a way that you can give a kid that's unfortunate the opportunity to be on the same level as the kids that's fortunate, is to give a camp that's free and they can come and enhance their ability to play a game of football.
Speaking of opportunity, coming through the high school ranks, you had an opportunity, a 4-sport star coming in, and at the high school level, you had an opportunity to sign a professional baseball contract, but yet you chose to go the football route. Talk about that decision as a kid.
It was a very tough decision because Seattle came and told me, they drafted me, and and at that point in time, all I wanted to do was, help my mom, and because she's raised 5 boys by herself, and to see them flash that check in front of me at my house, it was like very, very tempting. But I told him, I said I needed to think about it for a minute, and we talked to my oldest brother Fred, who was a great role model for me, and my mom, and they she said, I don't struggle this long. I can struggle for a couple more years. So, that was a decision to now I want to choose football. Football was my next sport that I want to go in. And now it's all about what college do I want to go to. And Alcorn was the only college that gave me the opportunity and a fair opportunity to play the position I wanted to play, and that was to be a quarterback. And I chose them. I put my best foot forward, and things worked out. And, if I had to go back and do it all over again, I choose the same path.
What I didn't realize, and you and I started at the same time back in '91, that the schools that were looking at you, with the exception of Alcorn, were looking at you on the defensive side of the ball. Talk about that.
You know, it was very, it was a very enjoying situation, yeah, and especially a unique one. I played cornerback in high school also, and I held the state record for a long time with Terrell Buckley, who's been in the league a long time, and All-Pro, with 31 interception, and that's what most of the college was looking at, that I could play defensive back, and they felt like I was a better defensive back than I was a quarterback. So now there go another challenge that I got to take up and prove that I could be a quarterback. And I knew that people was going to talk about me choosing to go to Alcorn because it was a small school, small market. But I made it my mind, and plus my high school coach always told me, it's not where you go, it's what you do when you get there. And I put my best foot forward. I went out, and the coaching staff here was excellent. They let me do the things that I could do best, and that is to throw the football, and everything worked out for the best.
Your brother played here from 1988 and '89. How much of an influence did he have in your decision?
I think I was very familiar with Alcorn once I came here, because I knew some of the coaches, that coached my brother, and I knew the campus. I knew some of the professors out here, and I'm very familiar with it. But I felt like if I did come to Alcorn in my choosing to go to college, I would be familiar with it, and plus I love the environment of the football atmosphere, the family atmosphere that I enjoyed my brother when he was playing, and that was one of those things that when you see fans in the stands at Alcorn and doing a tomahawk and seeing all the purple and gold, and it was exciting, and I was just in high school, just starting in high school, and my heart was pumping then, so it was very exciting once I made the decision to come to Alcorn, because I knew I was going to get the fan base, and I was going to get good coaches. I was going to go against a good career in education. So it was a great opportunity for me to even just to experience the family atmosphere in a small school, to where you can still get it done.
And you got a chance to experience that right away, because in 1991, my first game was your first game. You came in for Reginald Martin when the team was struggling. Did you expect that going in? Did you expect to get some action that first game?
I had a little gas that everybody put on the fire, because everybody was saying, well, he's not gonna make it on that next level. He's not gonna do this. He gonna get out there, and the college life gonna explore him in so many different ways. But I set my mind up every night to go out and study and learn the game plan and learn the playbook. And every day all the guys say, man, you gonna go out for a walk, or you gonna go across the yard? I'm like, no, I'm staying right here in my room. By the first game, I want to be playing, and that was my goal. And I studied and I learned, and we had 2 scrimmages. We actually supposed to have 1. And I did so well against the first team defense, and I was with the second team offense, that Coach Jones didn't believe it. So we had to have a second scrimmage, and he put me with the first team, and I did a great job. And Coach Jones said, well, due to seniority, Reginald Martin gonna start, and Reggie struggled the first couple series, and then all of a sudden here I am. Well, you talking about a frightening moment once I got in the huddle, seeing all these, seniors and juniors, and I'm just a rookie coming in, and they saying, you about to take us down the score. And I'm like, oh man, that's a lot more pressure on me. But after the first play, I settled down. I had great receivers, CC, Tillman, and Torrance Small, all those guys who really helped me every week, and and every week was a challenge for me. And it was a great experience coming in as a freshman and playing for 4 years and doing some great things and having great teammates. And it was just a blessing for me.
And then from Shreveport, the first game, the second game, I believe, was in Dallas. We played in that Big D Classic, and against Alabama A&M.
Alabama A&M.
And when did you realize that, what, maybe I've got something going here? When did you realize that?
I was having so much fun my sophomore year that I didn't realize what I was doing, because I was enjoying, just playing amongst some guys that I was playing with, and just to be a part of it. I didn't worry about, okay, I could go to the next level, I can, be in the NFL, I can be in the Hall of Fame. I wasn't thinking about nothing my first 2 years. I was just saying, man, this is fun, this is great. You go to play against a legend, Eddie Robinson, every year. You play against Southern, who's always was on top. And then you got the arch rival Jackson State. Those were the things that I look forward to every year. It wasn't the long-term deal. And then my junior year, everybody's talking about, you need to come out.
I will continue my 4 years at Alcorn. I signed a 4-year scholarship, and I will be back at Alcorn next year.
And all this, and go to the NFL. But I was having so much fun, so I stayed for my senior year. So it paid off for me. So I still, got drafted number 3 in '95, and it was a blessing in disguise.
How easy or how difficult was it to get adjusted? And you said you were familiar with Alcorn. How easy or how hard was it to get adjusted to everything? I mean, you took off like a rocket, and you were very popular, obviously, even before because of your brother. How easy of a transition was it to make from high school athlete, star athlete, to now your freshman year, boom, you're the man?
Well, it never went down. I think I was still living up to success I had in high school. And dealing with my brother coming out here, that was the only pressure that I had, really, for as going out there and performing at a high level, is because he performed at a high level, and to see him do things at Alcorn, and people were like, okay, now you got Air 2 coming, the expectation is a little higher. They want you to perform and come in and play. So, that was the only thing I think I had to adjust to, is just, getting, adjusted my brother's name and his success here. And once I had my first year over with, everything was history. Everybody knew that I had the capability of becoming a great player.
In your second year, that was when we made it to the playoffs, and the year before you came, we were 2-7, and you turned it around the freshman year. In the second year, we made it to the postseason. So as you look at your first 2 years at Alcorn, and of course, offensively, we were one of the best teams in the nation, running and gunning. Halfway through your college career, talk a little bit about that and your expectations as you step to the second half.
Well, the first half was just, I was just trying to do all I could do to help the team. I wasn't trying to be a superstar. I wasn't trying to be, the letter I in team. I was just trying to fit in, because we had some great guys ahead of me that was older than me, that had more experience than I did. And all I was trying to do is just do all I could do to help this team win the first 2 years, and we done that. And another thing I was trying to do is just not go out there and try to take over a ball game. I want to let the teammates get involved, and that was the first half of my year, just trying to be that guy that's going to not lose a ball game, but help his team in any way he can to win a ball game.
How important were the coaches in your transformation, in your maturity? Because with all this pressure, with everybody looking at you, it's easy to get very high, sometimes out of sight. But Cardell Jones and Ricky Taylor, the offensive coordinator, and the other coaches, how important were they in trying to keep you on that even keel?
It wasn't hard, because I came from a stable background. My family, my mom raised us, and regardless of how much success we always had to keep both foot on the ground, and walk straight, walk with a level head. I'm very humble of where I am now. I always will be that way, and that was the way I was when I was in college. Regardless of how much success I had, I was going to be that same guy. I wasn't going to change. My hair wasn't going to swell. My hair wasn't going to be stuck up in the air. I was going to speak, have conversation, hang out, and do all those things that I normally would do if I wasn't successful. And, I think that's what helped me. And the coaching staff, they knew my personality. So it was just a matter of, me doing the things I need to do in the classroom to stay eligible to play football, and they stayed on me about that. And I graduated in 4 years, and I think that's a blessing for me, and also I appreciate the help and the opportunity that Alcorn gave me to be able to do those things. And I think overall, if you look at my 4 years at Alcorn, it was one of those Cinderella stories.
Yeah.
It was one of those stories that, you know, you come out of high school and being this high-profile, you know, quarterback, and you could have went to Nebraska, you could have went to Tennessee, you could have went to Florida, Miami, and here I am. Okay, now I choose Alcorn. You know, everybody like, you know, downplay you. Then all of a sudden I get out here and do as great as anybody in the NCAA history, and you know, I think that's the thrill that I get out of it, is proving everybody wrong.
All the stuff during your 4 years, it all seemed to go so fast. How are you able to just suck it all in? I mean, because I can hardly remember a lot of these things. I had to recall a lot, and just seemed like the 4 years went just like that. You know, how are you able just to sift everything out academically as well as athletically? Because of course, without the academic part, you never touch the field.
Well, I think it was just, you know, anybody can do it if they set their mind to it. And when I said I was going to put my best foot forward, I did. And not just only on the football field, but also in the classroom. That is something that, you know, I wanted to do, because, you know, I wanted to be the first out of my family. Me and my brother, we have competition, you know, just fun competition, and we always want to be the first and see who can do the best. And, you know, that's the thing that got me through. And I think, and knowing that, you know, I was going against all odds when I came here, so I had to make sure that my priority was straight, and it's education first, and then, you know, play the game of football, in which, you know, I managed to do both, but it took a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of help from all the professors, and a lot of help from the coaches to get me on the right track, and to make sure that this is what I really wanted to do.
At the end of your junior year, going into your senior year, the SID at that time, Derek Hackett, called me up and he said, you know what, we're going to do something. I said, what? He said, we're going to see if we can promote Steve for the Heisman. And I said, wow. Is that how you felt? Wow. As you as you're getting ready for this next level.
I see it every year before I even got here, and to even be mentioned, you know, by the media and by some of the fans of winning the Heisman or being up for the Heisman was a blessing. You know, that's something that it's the awards of all awards of college football, and you know, to be even mentioned was good for me. I'm like, nah, this can't happen. Yeah. Then, you know, you have guys on campus that came out with a song, Jay Lee, and hand them the Heisman, and then you see yourself on ESPN magazine, you know, and you know, it was, you know, I never saw that. And you know, I see myself in the papers, but I never seen, you know, a guy make a song. I never seen myself on ESPN magazine, Sports Illustrated magazine. But it was great, you know, to see that. You know, that was one of many to come.
And of course, the lessons you learned being a star player in high school, being able to handle the national media attention your senior year, of course, throughout your 4 years, but especially the last, I would say, year and a half, that had to have been special.
Yeah, it was special. You know, either the media, you know, they did a wonderful job of promoting me from a small market, from a small school, and they did a magnificent job of showing everybody what this SWAC is all about, what Alcorn is all about, because, you know, if you notice the final year here at Alcorn, we played like 3 or 4 games on ESPN2, and you know, those guys were the one that pushed me out there to get the people that doesn't get the channels up there to watch me, and especially there was a special moment when I broke the NCAA total yard, offensive yard for, you know, for NCAA. It was, you know, they showed it, they broke up games, you know, big time games for that. But overall, it was a blessing, and I think that was a highlight of my career, is when I done that, and they showed it, and I'm sitting back and watching ESPN and looking at myself, and you know, giving the ball to my mom and hugging her. It was great.
Yeah, that was the game against Southern in which you broke the record here at home, the biggest crowd ever at Spink Stadium. Talk about that particular day. I mean, because it was a big game. Number one, we had our sights set on winning the championship and perhaps a playoff appearance. Just talk about the events leading up to that special day, because you had the record, you had Southern, the big rivalry. Talk all about that.
Well, you know, I think, you know, that was a very stressful time, And I think at this point in time to where, you know, I knew that I could break the record. And the thing about, you know, playing against Southern and doing it against Southern, you know, it was intriguing because at the time I wanted to, you know, if I was going to break the record, I wanted to break it with my brother and throwing him a pass. But I ended up running it. And, you know, to end up winning that game and breaking the record and sharing the ball from my mom and my family and very special moment. And to go out and knowing we had to win the SWAC against Southern, you know, we knew that we had to play. You know, they had a great team, great coaches, staff, and we just wanted to go out there and just play. You know, forget about it when the game starts and just go out there and have fun.
Well, you had a great career at Alcorn, and if I'm a high school student, junior and senior, looking at Alcorn State University, and what would you recommend in terms of just the overall experience of ASU as I get ready to make that transformation from high school to college?
I think the best thing to do is, you know, if you like a family, if you like a great environment, if you like, you know, to go out and experience different things, this is the place. I think if you want to go out and have great professions and professors, and I think if you want to go out and have a great education, this is still the place. But I think at this point in time, you know, it's a small school, small market, but at the same time, you know, the classes, rooms are not that big. You can have one-on-one with the teachers. You can do one-on-one with other students to where, you know, you can get it. You know, and I think for as athletic concern, I think this is one of the best places, you know, in this town that, you know, that you can explore different things. You know, this is a place that, you know, I made history. This is a place that, you know, I enjoyed for 4 years, and I wouldn't change a thing. If you're coming out of high school, you know, it's, you know, I just said it earlier. It's not where you go. It's what you do when you get there. It don't matter how big a school you go to. If you don't do the best you can, you're still not going to amount to anything. So I came to a small school, Alcorn, loved it, and I put my best foot forward. I did the best I could do. I made the sacrifices. I dedicated myself to the game of football. I dedicated myself to my academics, and I think that's what you got to do. Regardless of, you know, you go to a bigger school, you may just be a number. But here, at least you have an opportunity to show your talent.
Focus, determination. Steve, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.